did take us.
Yeah, let me see. Bruh, what is with my face?
Oh, it's on. Oh.
What's good, y'all? My name is Jackie Lumi.
And I'm Bloom, and today Lumi's gonna be reading her story. So the last time it was me, so let's see if she can really top it up. Yeah.
Okay. So the background, this is just background information. It takes place in a mental institution where a man that's been admitted is being interviewed and telling his side of the story. You get it?
So they interviewing the guy who was mentally.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you ready? Okay. We're good. The cameraman says, giving them a thumbs up. Okay, Mr. Veeveedoor, we are recording. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself. Short pause. My name is Jimmy Veeveedoor, and I am a 62-year-old who lost his entire family in a house fire, he says. How long ago was that, sir? Anita asks. 20 years ago. 20 years. 20. He says, while zoning out. He's mentally unstable.
I'm not laughing. You know this like.
There was a long.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was a long pause. Anita was waiting on him, letting him recall everything that happened. Jimmy lets out a heavy sigh and proceeds. My family and I moved to this beautiful house that was just what we needed at that time. I was in my late 20s when we got the house, and both my kids were in their teenage years. One was 17, the other 15.
Mm-hmm.
My beautiful children. He says, oh, he pauses and looks at Anita and says,
hold on, can you go back?
Where?
He was when he got the house. How old was he?
He was.
Hold on. He was in his late 20s, and his kids were already around 17 and what? Wait. How old did he get kids at? Like what age? Second.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think of it.
He's in his late 20s and his kids are already 17. And
Oh my god. Can we continue? Can we just continue? I don't know what was happening when I was writing this, but okay.
no, like late 20s.
Yeah, like maybe 27, 28.
And his kids were already 17 at that age. 27, 28, and his kids were 17 or 18.
Keep quiet.
I'm a, you know.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. I was in my late 20s when we got the house, and both my kids were in their teenage years. I just realized.
You should get some water, bro.
You got his firstborn another 10.
Oh, you see?
If I'm saying late 20s, I was thinking like 27, 28. But if he was already 27 and the kid is 17, then he got his first child. Calculate, he got his first child at 10 years old.
So he was 27 and the kid was 17.
17,
That's
it's
an entire 10 years.
Yeah. Okay,
Bro was only 10.
Okay, one was 17, the other was 15. Let's just get through this, okay? He pauses and looks at Anita and says, she never liked it. My daughter, she said that there was something in the atmosphere that was suffocating. He stutters, his eyes wandering around. He shut his eyes and shook his head buried into his palms. Mr. Veeveedoor? What's happening? Are you okay, Mr. Veeveedoor? Anita asked while leaning back to sit up straight. Fear starts kicking in as she watches Jimmy rock on his chair. The cameraman moves a couple of steps back just to be in a safe space, hoping Anita will do the same since she's sitting too close to Jimmy. She doesn't move. Instead, she reaches her trembling hand out and touches Jimmy's shoulder in a reassuring way. It's okay. I'm here because I believe you. I want you to be heard, she says, still shaking. Are we gonna get through this? She says, still shaking and not knowing. Please, 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 please.
So she believes that.
Please. Tato, it's a long story. I'm not even sure we're gonna get through this.
How long is it?
I don't even know, okay? I believe you, I want you to be heard, she says, still shaking and not knowing what she's getting herself into. Luckily, Jimmy sits up straight and wishes to continue with his story. My kids were happy at first, but after 2 weeks, they wanted to leave that house, claiming that the house is controlling them, making them do things that they don't want to do. My wife started seeing things and doing things that were weird. She would go in the shower with a rope or razor blades, and I would often catch her trying to end her life. When I asked her why, she said she didn't know and that something was making her do these things. We were happy. I made sure of it. I didn't quite understand her sudden change of behavior. I got mad and started threatening to leave her if she didn't quit it. We fought like never before, which even resorted to me sleeping in the guest bedroom. She would beg and cry while on her knees, asking me to believe her story. Mimics the wife. It's not me, it's the house, she would say. I thought she was going crazy. A lot was happening that I wasn't even keeping tabs on my children, on what my children were doing. He grabs the water bottle next to him and gulps the water down like a madman. He then wipes his mouth using, I know. He then wipes his mouth using the back of his hand. Continues talking. Please. Good. I thought, and I'm not trying to be goofy with the whole shirt on my head. I just washed
Nobody
my
even
hair.
saw the shirt.
I just feel like it's visible. You can see that this is a shirt. I was washing my hair and I usually just let my hair air dry. I don't use
I just need water to calm it down.
Nah, it's okay. It's good. Tato, it's you. You.
My bad.
I've told you this before. Nah, bruh. Sit up straight. We can't keep doing this. I just want to continue and finish it because this is long. Sit up straight. Don't touch the table. So he continues talking, right? I thought my family had gone insane. They pulled away because I chose not to believe them. It was 4 years of misery. I had no family. All I'd do was come home, eat, shower, and go to sleep. I was sick and tired of hearing nonsense. until that one day. The one day that made me lose everything and realize a lot. On that day, I decided to take the day off and spend time with them. I wanted to rebuild my relationship with them, so I called them to sit in the kitchen while I make breakfast for them. The second I turned off the stove, I swear, I wasn't doing it. I punched my son in the face, bashed his head against the counter, and slapped my wife when she tried to intervene. I didn't know what came over me, but I remember clearly that I never went near my daughter once. She flew right in front of me and hit the wall. That's when I knew something sinister was happening. By the time I realized, it was too late.
So the daughter just like out of the blue.
Yeah.
And then what? And
Yeah,
then
and
the
she hit
daughter
the
was just
wall.
like,
I panicked and fell unconscious. So he fell. He was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? The next thing I know is that the house was burning. I was woken up by the smoke. I looked for them, but they were nowhere to be found. I ran out that house screaming and pleading for help. The neighbors called the ambulance. The police came and they questioned me like I was a suspect. Like I would do anything to hurt them. Anita is shocked. Her eyes are wide open. The cameraman's jaw dropped to the floor. He was just as shocked. Mr. Veeveedoor, do you know why you're here today? He looks away and keeps quiet. Mr. Veeveedoor, your neighbors say you lived alone. You'd often break dishes and fight with yourself. And on that day, you set your house on fire, Anita says. Not true. That's not true, he yells. I spoke to your sister. She says your 2 kids died way before they reached their teenage years, which caused the split between you and your wife. I said it's not true, he continues. Anita stands up and moves away from him. Stop covering up. You didn't kill your children. It wasn't your fault that they got into a car accident. Stop creating fake scenarios and face it. I was here to help because I know you're not crazy. You're just in denial. Anita and the cameraman pack their stuff and leave Mr. Veeveedoor crying in his room. And I did not continue.
I thought you said it was long. That was like short. Yeah.
That's long, is it not? What else was I gonna say?
I don't know. Thought maybe like there was another twist at the end, like where they were trying to leave and then he closed the door in front of them, something like that.
So finish. Continue with the story, actually.
So I thought.
So
Mr.
Anita
Veeveedoor-
and cameraman are about to leave right now, and Mr. Veeveedoor is crying. What's happening next, according to you?
So like, they're still like a bit far away from the door, right?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Veeveedoor-
No, but cameraman was like close to the door. Cameraman kept on moving backwards. He was like,
But he's packing up, right? So he just had to walk to his camera.
Yeah, he did.
So
they're switching it off, like, and he's there
He's
crying.
still packed.
So everyone has moved in the middle of the room. Okay.
So what I'm saying is, I thought Mr. Veeveedoor was gonna close the door.
Speak up.
I thought Mr. Veeveedoor was gonna. Okay, I thought like Mr. Veeveedoor was gonna run and like close the door and lock them inside and not let them be, cause like, yeah,
But it's a mental institution. I feel like a security guard is right outside. Nothing will happen. He might attempt to like choke.
Well, but I've never heard.
He might attempt to choke somebody, but then they're gonna get saved. They're gonna get to go home because they're security guard. Obviously, if you know you're gonna have a conversation with somebody who's mentally unstable, and then you expect no security guard at all.
I've honestly never heard of a journalist going to interview somebody in the mental institution.
They do.
Like,
I would do it. If I was a journalist, I would do it. To figure out whether sometimes they just place people in there and they're not even crazy. Like, they just can't share their story. most of the time they're not lying, but because they don't want people to find out information, they lock them up.
Like some people in like I just that's my personal feeling. People who are in a mental institution, some of them like, nah, they know how to pretend like they're not crazy. That's what I feel like.
I feel like
some do know how to do that.
Once you're in there, it's either you're crazy or no, not crazy. It's either you're crazy or there's information that people don't want you to say out loud. So they make it look like you're crazy. But there's nobody who's gonna be normal and sit in there. Okay, I mean you're normal, but you have information that could like destroy someone else.
You're still normal, so
yeah, you end up going crazy because you're locked out. But I just realized something. This was supposed to be like a crazy story. I didn't read it out loud first. It turned out to be funny. I feel like this was a joke. And when I rate it, it's gonna be, I'm gonna give it a 10. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
10 out of 6? That's crazy.
I would give it a 6 out of 10. Out loud.
The last one you wrote, this is definitely like a downgrade. I'm not trying to be mean, but like from the one with Mr. Skippedoor, is it Mrs. Skippedoor? Whoever she is.
Mr. Skippedoor and Mr. Brown. And
that one of It's Still 2 a.m. Or The Longest Night. Something like that. Those are the best. You are like fire. To be honest with you, the storyline felt like it was a Lifetime movie. And you know how we feel about Lifetime movies. I'll give it an 8.
I don't care about your rating because you included Lifetime. The fact that you included Lifetime movies are a -1. So I know what you're trying to say. What's up? So I'm not even gonna speak on that.
I ain't saying that. I just said it's an 8.
But you included Lifetime. And for me, Lifetime stories. Nah, it's cool. It's okay. It's fine. If that's how you feel about this, I'll come back stronger. I'll do.
Why are you touched? Like.
Do we watch Lifetime? Why don't we watch Lifetime? Why don't we watch Lifetime?
But I'm pretty sure like Momsy likes it.
Why don't we watch Lifetime?
Rephrase your sentence.
Why don't we watch Lifetime stories? Why?
Because they better hell. Like
exactly.
And storyline has the same thing.
What is bad as hell?
Storyline has the same.
What is bad as hell? To you. Like is bad as hell a 3, a 2, a 1, or a 0?
It's a Lifetime movie, bro. There's nothing I can add on it.